I woke up today feeling just a little generous, just a little bit. Next week is real special to me. So the first person who guesses correctly and leaves a comment, guessing correctly, obviously, I'm going to give you $50. $50 if you guess correctly as to why next week is special for me. Anyways, let's move forward to today's video. Matt, y'all remember Matt? Matt sent me a recipe request, shrimp ceviche. So we've got a lot of prep work to do. You know, it sounds easy. You freaking throw I said freaking. I ain't cuss, I said freaking. You freaking throw everything together and let it marinate. But there's a lot of slicing and dicing. We got avocados, lemons, limes, oranges, shrimp, red onion, jalapeno, cucumber, cilantro, tomatoes. So we got a lot of prepping to do. Hit that subscribe button. Take a guess as to why next week is special for me. If you guess correctly, $50 goes your way. But in the meantime, let's get started here on Cook! Don't be lazy. First thing we want to do is cut up our scrimps. And we're using raw scrimp. Now what I'm doing is I'm cutting the shrimp in half. So you've got the full shrimp, cutting that in half. And then I'm taking each half and cutting those pieces in half. So I'm getting 4 pieces out of each shrimp. By the way, make sure you devein the shrimp. That's the poo-poo. The poo-poo line. Gotta get the poo-poo line. For you guys who don't know how to devein a shrimp, take a knife, score the back of the shrimp, and pull out the poo-poo. Now, I also like to flip the shrimp over to the front, and you'll notice in the front it's got a little vein. I like to scrape that little vein out because that vein can sometimes have a little sand in it. I ain't trying to eat sand, especially considering ceviche is somewhat raw shrimp cooked in lemon juices. So this is done. Speaking of lemon juices, let's work on our lemon. So I've cut up 3 lemons and 3 limes, hoping that's enough juice. Each lemon and lime produces different amounts of juice, so we'll see if that's enough. I'm going to use this citrus juicer, hoping to catch most of the seeds and to extract as much juice as I can. But I don't want seeds in my ceviche, so if I can capture most of them, that's what I'm going to aim for. Now's a good time to explain the contest rules. Real simple, no cheating. 1 entry, 1 comment, 1 account. It's that simple. Don't be erasing your answer and trying to edit. It's not going to work. 1 entry, 1 comment. It's that simple. You've got to make your comment within 48 hours. October 24th, 2020 is 48 hours from now. Any comment left after that, trying to guess, is not going to count. Within 48, hey, it pays to watch early. So inside of those 48 hours, I'm going to count all answers. And I'm going to look to see which one guessed correctly within those 48 hours worth of comments. Now, only one person knows. At least I think only one person knows. I've only told one person, I believe. My memory's bad, but I hope I've only told one person what next week is. I'm not going to sit here and give you 100 clues. You know, it's for you to guess what next week is and why next week is special to me. So if you guess correctly and you guessed it inside the 48 hours between today, Thursday, and Saturday the 24th, you've got yourself $50. It's that simple. So I'm pretty much done with juicing the lemons. And it looks like I managed to get almost a cup of juice out of the 3 lemons and 3 limes. Let's get started on the next phase of this shrimp ceviche. Throw your shrimps into a bowl. Look at this guy trying to jump and escape. Throw your lemon juice in. Give it a quick stir to make sure that lime or the lemon touches and coats all of your scrimps. The lemon juice is going to cook. The acid from the lemon is going to cook these shrimps. So you want to make sure you have enough juice to cover your shrimps. We're going to take some of this saran wrap. We're going to cover our shrimp. And we're going to put this in the fridge. So I know we've got a lot of veggies left to cut, but we're not going to cut those yet, and we're certainly not going to add it to the shrimp right now. I want that shrimp to marinate in there in the fridge for about 2 hours. The reason being is because we're dealing with raw shrimp. The acid from the lemon juice is going to cook that shrimp, so I want that shrimp to sit in that lemon juice as much as possible without other ingredients absorbing some of that lemon juice away from the shrimp. So let your shrimp marinate in the fridge by itself for roughly 2 hours. In 2 hours, we'll get back to slicing and dicing and cutting up the veggies, and we'll add all that back into, we'll add it into the mixture. So I'll see you guys in 2 hours. Two hours is up, but we're going to leave the shrimp in the fridge while we cut up these veggies real quick. So let's start cutting some veggies. So as you can see, I've already started on most of the prep work here. I don't want you guys to sit through 17 minutes of me cutting. But I do want to show you guys this. The jalapeno. One full jalapeno. You want to core it out and take the seeds out. If you want heat, keep the seeds in. As you can see, I've already did some slicey dicey on it. But if you don't want too much heat, take the seeds out. But we want little pieces. Everything we're going to cut is going to be little teeny tiny pieces. Just like that. Now I've already taken the shrimp out of the fridge here a minute ago, and I kind of made the mistake, being that I had already cut up half of the jalapeno. I started rubbing around my face. You know, you get an itch here, itch there. You start rubbing, you know, your eye. And my face and my knuckle right here is burning for some reason. So careful when you're working with the jalapeno. Let me show you the shrimp. So as you can see, they're no longer translucent. They're pretty much white. That juice has cooked the shrimp. So we're going to add in our jalapeno. Now everything I'm going to do is eyeball. I'm using half a pound of shrimp in here. So let me move this off to the side for a second, and let me show you what I got. So I took a cucumber and I skinned it with my potato peeler. And I cut off half a cucumber and I diced it into little teeny tiny pieces. So I'm going to throw that into our shrimp mixture. That's done. A red onion. I'm using about a quarter red onion. Put that off to the side. Same thing, sliced and diced, little teeny tiny pieces. Quarter red onion. We don't want too much onion in our scrimps. Cilantro. Chop it up as fine as you can. I'm not that great of a slicer, so that's what we got. Throw in some cilantro. Again, eyeball it. The more shrimps you got, the more content you want to add in. Now, I want to use Roma tomatoes, but the darn store didn't have Roma tomatoes, so I ended up opting for these little cherry tomatoes and grabbed a handful and chopped into little teeny tiny pieces. There you go, just like that. Now, one thing I did forget to mention earlier. 1 orange. You don't want to use orange juice. That stuff's been pasteurized and who knows what's been added to it. You want 1 orange and you want to squeeze all the juice out of it. Now technically you can add that juice to the initial mixture of lemon and let it so-called cook slash marinate, and that's fine. I forgot about it. I was tied up. I don't know what you know, I got excited with the $50 giveaway, but I've gone ahead and juiced the OJ. So I'm gonna go ahead and add it now. 1 OJ, each orange is going to produce a different amount of OJ juice. This one produced about a third of a cup of juice. So there's that. We're going to throw in some salt. How much salt? I don't know. It's going to be to taste, so you're just going to eyeball it. We're going to stir this up. And we're not done. We want these flavors to marinate together. So we're going to give it a good stir. Make sure every item has been coated with that OJ and lemon mixture. And we're going to repeat the process of covering it up with saran wrap. And sticking it back in the fridge. Back into the fridge it goes, and for how long? Well, 2 more hours. So total cook marinade time is 4 hours. Now I know the shrimp already looks like it's already fully cooked, but because we're dealing with a raw ingredient, speaking of which, also the supposed cockroach of the sea, according to Mr. Phillips, we want to make sure any potential bacteria is definitely killed off by the acidity of the lime, lemon, and or OJ. Speaking of Mr. Phillips, I've mentioned him in the past. He loves his baby reds. I'm trying to figure out how to bring him onto the show. It just may happen soon. So Mr. Phillips, I know you want to come on. We got to come up with a game plan to make that happen. Back to the recipe at hand. 4 hours. 4 hours total cook time minimum. You can leave it out there, leave it in there 6 hours, 8 hours. All we're doing now is just making sure any potential bacteria on the shrimp is killed off, and we're making sure all the flavors meld together properly. So we got one ingredient left, and that's the avocado. Avocado's brown easy. So we're gonna save this for last. So in 2 hours, when this is ready, because I'm ready to go to bed. It's past my bedtime. So in 2 hours, when this is ready, I'm gonna pull this bad boy out of the fridge. I'm gonna slice and dice up this avocado, spread it around the ceviche, and we're gonna plate up. Shrimp ceviche, courtesy of Matt's recommendation. Thank you, Matt. Don't forget, guys, drop that comment for a potential $50. Stay tuned next week to find out who the winner is here on Cook. Don't be lazy.